Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another Archaeo-Scope. This series is kind of like an inverted questions of doom, where rather than you sending me a question to try and answer to the best of my ability, I put a question out there for you in the form of a video, or an observation in this case in the form of a video, for you guys to discuss below, and together we come up with theories and ideas and just a conversation that one of us on our own might not have been able to have. And this morning actually was completely unplanned. I wasn't planning on making any video today, but I really wanted to, following something which happened on the Facebook page. I'm not going to share a screenshot of it, and I have removed the comment for this person's privacy, so that they don't, so that no one comments or messages them because of this video. But basically, this morning, someone commented on a news story that was shared on the Archaeology Facebook page. And this news story came from research done by Arizona State University. And it was talking about how people in, I think, the southwestern United States had access to advanced geometry. And the comment that this news article got, this legitimate research got, was essentially, nope, I've had enough of this. This is bad science. I'm unfollowing this Facebook page. Now, that's fine. Obviously, that's completely one's prerogative. You can unfollow whenever you want, but I thought I'd dig a little bit deeper into this, because this was a very sort of big comment to make, a very sort of loud, as it were, comment to make. And I thought, okay, well, so I asked the admin who posted the news article. I said, where did you get this? What's going on here? What's the where's the press release? This kind of thing. What's the background to this story? And the background is perfectly legitimate. As I say, research done by a legitimate university studying a settlement pattern in prehistoric southwestern America has shown that they had access to geometry. But where it got a bit complicated, I think where possibly this person's reaction, this commenter on the Facebook page reacted, or what they reacted to, was the fact that some people are jumping on this research as proving the theories of Graham Hancock. Graham Hancock is an alternative archaeologist, shall we say. He doesn't use facts and theories in the same way as established academics do. That is to say, proof, building on proof, and developing theories out of that kind of thing. It's much more speculative, much more, dare I say, even creative in some respects. So Hancock has his fans and his followers, and in many respects he's fun to read, as it were. I've got a Hancock book in the house, I must confess. But unless people react strongly to him, is what I'm getting at, and this is possibly where the reaction came from. Some people are using this advanced geometry claim to support further claims and speculation, which is unsupportable. I haven't looked into the Graham Hancock stuff in too much detail, because frankly I've got other things I need to be doing today. I've got better things to do. But I just wanted to address this because this whole thing of advanced geometry is possibly a misleading term, and this possibly is the reason why it can be used as fuel by those people who want to support their theories, and why it is seen as near conspiracy theory by those people who are easily frustrated by people making use of archaeology in that way. The truth is, advanced geometry isn't that hard to do, and I suppose maybe I should rephrase that. Maybe the whole point is we shouldn't be using the term advanced geometry, because it sort of hints that somehow this stuff could only have happened in the past 100 years or so. That somehow advanced geometry is a post Einstein thing, but it's not. And actually, it's really highlighted in the fact that it's incredibly simple to draw a perfect circle, and from there you can do some incredibly advanced geometry once you have a circle. Now, I only really took this on board a few years ago. I only really sort of thought about this a few years ago, so much as there are so many stone circles which are basically a perfect circle, and that's not to do with alien help or not to do with some geothermal manifestations. It's to do with the fact that all you need to do in order to draw a perfect circle is to have a stake or a pin and a string of a certain length, and then to keep that string taut and to move around that stake or pin. And when you do that and you keep the string at the same length, so you maybe have a sort of a knot that sort of slides around the stake in the middle, then you have a perfect circle. And that's really simple. That's really straightforward to do. It's not particularly advanced. In fact, this is really highlighted when they get it wrong. For example, at one of my favourite stone circles, Castle Rig, the stone circle is not a perfect circle. And you go, well, how did they get that wrong? And that's the point, is that most stone circles are in fact very nicely circular. And once you have a circle, well, within that circle, it's quite simple to manifest a square, and then you can play with the diameter of the circle, and you can play with the radius. You can start to create triangles, and all sorts of other shapes come out of the simple fact that it is quite straightforward to draw a circle. It's also actually quite straightforward to draw a straight line. All you need is gravity, basically. A string, a stone, and you have a line. And once you have that line, then you can cut a piece of wood into a straight line, then you have a nice ruler, or you have a plank, so on and so forth. So maybe what's led to this response, this reaction is this sort of two-step thing. First of all, possibly the slightly exaggerated and misappropriated use of the word advanced when it comes to geometry. And that said, though, I mean, a lot of this stuff I couldn't do just in my head. I'd have to do it, practically. But then the next step is how that is then jumped on and pointed at and used and appropriated by people who want to support fringe archaeological ideas and historical ideas which are unsubstantiated or are at the very best, at the very least, they are blue sky thinking when it comes to the use of archaeology. But I just wanted to sort of put this out there and see what you guys think. Do you think actually that maybe we should stop, in that sense, patronising the past every time we discover that they're able to do something which is accurate? That we somehow think that therefore it is advanced. Accuracy and, for example, symmetry, we've talked about symmetry in previous videos, and pleasing design is something which is very innate to people. Human beings want accurate and pleasing and symmetrical things in their world. And so in some respects, maybe we should stop doing this. We actually, as archaeologists who put out the press release, as the Archaeological Press, this was actually coming from an archaeological news website, Heritage Daily, and so on and so forth. We should stop sort of saying, advanced, because it's not. What we should say is competent, or we should say accurate, or we should say, or something. I don't know. Not try to encourage people to be surprised when people in the past, or even people in prehistory, God forbid, are able to create and build in a geometrically accurate way. This is it's not that hard to do. Maybe this is sort of our fault. What do you think? Do you think actually people, archaeologists need to stop trying to sell that story in that way? Maybe we should actually be encouraging people to know and not be surprised by accuracy and by complex mathematics in the past. So it is a shame that this person, who will remain unnamed, thought that we were supporting bad science and thought that we were supporting a fringe archaeological theory, when in fact we were sharing a legitimate news story. But it has nonetheless given me the opportunity to talk about something which is very important, and that is maybe the slightly patronising way that even archaeologists, or especially archaeologists in some respects, talk about and think about the past. Maybe we need to stop being surprised that people could use, circles and straight lines, and therefore possibly people now and people in the general public, and therefore people on the fringes of archaeology, might stop being surprised and stop using it as evidence of some ethereal or some extraterrestrial intervention in what is actually a very, very simple and natural and normal thing for humans to do, and that is seek seek patterns and seek symmetry and seek accuracy in the world around them. Anyway, guys, like I say, I've got things I need to do. I'm going to head off. Please do comment below. Let me know what you think. And as ever, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.